notice the sleeves on your shirts just getting tighter and tighter over the coming weeks, as will everybody else around you. Now it's okay. I can see that in my mind, right? And that gives me that paints this picture of that's what I want to experience, right? That's part of the after. That's part of the after. And so the emotional benefit is very much tied to the dimensional benefit, which is how does that make you feel, right? And so meaning like how does that picture, the experience of, man, like your shirt's getting tighter and tighter on, the guns are blazing, right? Like this dude. How does it make you feel? How do you feel because of that? Is what you want to tie in with that. And so, right, remember that what people are buying are the emotions. They're buying the after, the state. Think about this. The state, which you then experience things. What are you experiencing? You're experiencing the shirt tightening on your sleeves, on your, right? And you're buying that emotional feeling of, holy jeez, like, man, like I'm sought after, like my friends are envious of me, like these women are talking at. That's what you're buying. That's what people, and see, you turn, hold that 1 second. You turn right now, and I just want you to look at this, and this is what makes it so much fun, man. We're not talking about a protein powder. Right? We're not talking about a protein powder. In the end, it's 49, 89, 90, I don't even care. I just want that. That's the way, right? Now, see how the value, and you see why it's irresistible, because the value of what I'm getting compared to the cost is nothing. Trade 49 all day to feel sought after, like the envy of my friends, feel like a stud walking in every club or whatever, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
So two things. One about like when they're going to notice or guys are going to notice. Is that considered a benefit as well, or is that more just if I fill out my shirt, then women are going to notice? Yeah.
So it is. So well, look. You could say
the result, or could it also be a benefit?
So, the result and the benefit, there's a little, it's nuanced.
Great.
So, depending on if the market, knowing that the guy, look, I don't know, I'm married, been married a long time, man, at this point, and so, I'm not sure, guys, they want to be looked at, they want to feel macho.
In your case, your wife will notice.
Yeah, and so, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like, man, you're, in my case, yeah. What did you wait, my wife will notice, or like you or me? No, but that is, it's a little nuanced. Don't get caught up in is it a benefit or is it is this. This is why it's important that you know your market. This is actually why and this will be a good place to stop for lunch. This is why the first most important element in your marketing, in having a marketing campaign that converts, is the audience, is knowing who is that audience and knowing what makes them tick, knowing what do they want and what don't they want, knowing what is it about their current state that they don't like, that they're frustrated by, knowing what are the experiences that they're having right now that they no longer want to have or that they want to have more of, and knowing the emotions that they're having right now. How do they feel coming into your campaign as it relates to the unmet desire that they have? And of course, it's also knowing what is the after that they want. And really, if I had to pick one, I just want to know what do they want the after to look like. I really want to know both, because without knowing, with both you can create contrast, right? The light is only valuable in darkness, right? You've got to have that contrast, and so it's why the solution or a solution or an antidote is only as powerful as the poison is detrimental. And so I want to know both, but I want to know, what do they want that after to look like? What do they want to experience? Bless you. What do they want to experience? In this context, they want to experience, they want their wife to, want them more, or to appreciate them more, or to treat, you'll get more respect, your wife will dress up, whatever, right? There is an after, there is a state that they want, there are experiences that they want, and there are emotions that they will experience from that. Knowing that, and knowing what it is that they have right now, is all you need. That's what you need.
Yeah, so it seems like one of the things that triggered me a long time ago was just the sell the destination, not the journey sort of thing. But what you're with this dimensionalized perspective, you're kind of getting to the sell the experience and the emotions and the feelings at the destination.
Yeah. Well, it's this. You could say to some, and I love the way you said that, and you're absolutely right. You could also say it this way to some extent, that, like, look, it's how you are talking about the destination, right? And are you telling them what their life will be like at the destination, or are you showing them? And that's the difference. To say to somebody like, you'll be making money, you'll be making more money. Well, that's very hard to picture in my mind. You see, and here's the thing: the root of how you get somebody emotional, how you get them to a heightened emotional state, and all this is connected because people buy out of emotion. They buy out of emotion and they rationalize with logic, right? They justify their decision logically. That's Salesmanship 101. They buy out of emotion. They buy out of a heightened emotional state. And the route or the pathway to that emotional state is getting them to envision, right, the outcome in their mind. And so it's why, it's in how you are describing the experience rather than telling them about the outcome. It's not just telling them the outcome, it is describing the experience. Some of this is a bit nuanced because some of this is language choice. Like, for example, a simple example of different language choice, one that paints a picture and one doesn't, is if I said to you, this guy, he's got an arm, he threw the ball 300 yards. Or I said he threw the ball 3 football fields. In order to process the 300 yards, your mind generates an image. Your mind needs to generate an image. Why? Because 300 yards is abstract, right? And so it's just like saying you'll grow more muscle is abstract. What do you want me to picture in my head? Do you want me to picture like my arm physically growing? Like, is it growing by the minute? Is it growing is it like a Hulk, Incredible Hulk? What do you want me to picture in my mind? That's what you are giving them. That's the difference between functional and dimensionalized. Functional is that, in essence, is that abstract, higher level, experience. Dimensionalized is turning it into a picture. It's dimensionalized because we're making it 3-dimensional. So does that make sense?
Does it work better when you are using like a metaphor, like in this case, like 3 football fields?
Well, so it doesn't necessarily. So in this case, 3 football fields in this case isn't really a metaphor. Like I'm saying, if I said 300 yards, that really is the equivalent of 3 football fields. It could be a metaphor, but more often than not, it's not. You're just telling them, like, look, if you say to somebody, all your traffic problems will be solved. Well, what does that mean? Right? What does that really look like in my life? That's a functional benefit, right? Like that's, you won't have any more traffic problems. That's a functional benefit. That is a benefit, right? But what does that look like? What's the prospect going to experience? What's going to happen tomorrow? What are they going to see in their account? What are they seeing today, right, that is a source of that problem, right, that they're not going to see anymore after? What aren't they seeing in their account? What aren't they viewing in their inbox or in their Facebook account? What aren't they seeing that they will see after, right? That's going to create excitement for them. That's going to create this emotional. So it's really about, it's painting the picture of really what their existence is. If we're saying to somebody like, let's say somebody's being picked on, right? Somebody's being picked on at school or whatnot, and we say, you won't be bullied anymore, right? And so you won't be bullied anymore is somewhat of an abstract, right? But if we said, tomorrow, from tomorrow on, you'll walk into school and the bullies will notice something's different about you and they'll turn and walk the other way. And everybody else around you will notice that they're leaving you alone out of respect. That's an experience. That's something that they could experience. They may not experience it exactly like that, but that's a picture that is painted of what they ultimately want. Cool?
Cool.
All right, so let's do this.